a lot classier, a lot classier. I had started this video again and then I realized I didn't have my earrings, so I had to go back and get some earrings so that I can look nicer. And like I tried to honestly woke up like this because my hair is a mess. Anyway, hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Naomi, watching Naomi's vlog, and we have another story time today. If you haven't watched the previous story time, you definitely probably should go watch it after this one though. So this one happened around the same time as that other story. Actually, honestly, I don't think it was more than an year. I think this year was just super trying for me. Guys were trying it. Honestly, I think it was kind of probably in the same year. So I had just joined high school, things were nice, things were well. Also, if it's not clear at this point, or if you're a new subscriber and you don't know this, I grew up in Othaya, Nyeri. So I grew up in Shags, like up until like I graduated Form 4. So most of my life stories are kind of based there. So when you're in high school, and especially if you went to a nice high school, you pick up some things, you have your hair all done and nice, you got some new lingo, you're feeling yourself, you're the new nice pretty girl in the block. And I was that girl, can't you tell? Anyway, so yeah, during the holidays, of course, you go back home, go back to life, do the normal daily things that happen in life. Then there was this guy, still, of course, obviously still in my village. Sidebar. When I say my village, what comes to my head is, you see those Niger movies when they have those two things. When they have the matutas and the lesos and the tumbukats, aka crop top, in case anyone doesn't know what is a tumbukat. You see, like, and mud houses. When I say my village, that is the image I get in my head, but it wasn't that. It was just like a normal, I don't know how to explain this. Anyway, in my village, there was this boy. First of all, those people that, as a guy, even as a girl, honestly, there's those people that you just see, and it would never even cross your mind that, they're not that they're not cute, okay. But that's not the point. They're just those people you would never, like, not in a million years, be fascinated over, not even want to date or want anything with them. Just, you'd never, like, it's almost like you don't see them, you know what I'm saying? So there was this specific guy. For one, he was quite older than me. Like, I think I said I had just joined high school, so I was probably in my first, is it called what? Form 1 or Form 2? What I'm saying, first year, second year. Form 1 or Form 2. It was probably, honestly, like at least 5 years older than me. And 5 is a lot when you're like in Form 2, Form 1. It's someone like in campus or something. Anyway, he wasn't in campus. If this even doesn't matter, I know I am telling you this. I'm just telling you, it wasn't someone who, like, we had interacted with, like we used to vibe, or anyone I thought was interesting in any way, sense, shape or form. No, it wasn't. Like, yeah, I had seen him around, but I never really thought about him. So it was just, why am I telling you these things are not important? The point is, I had seen this guy. I had never spoken to him. And so me, I'm just up about going my own business. And then I'm like, hey, Nyacha, I'm seeing this guy so many times. Like, why is he almost always wherever I am? But of course, I brushed it. Like I said, I never, like, took a second or two to think about him, what he was doing and whatnot. So yeah, but then also every day I used to go fetch milk. Was I fetching or delivering? No, I was fetching. At this very time, I used to go fetch milk in the evening, which was like around 6 p.m. So this is something you do every day. And then I started noticing every day I'd see this guy, and it's weird. And then after I didn't think anything of it, but then after some time he started saying hi, and I'd be like, hey back. And then I'm like, you see, when you don't expect someone to say hi to you, but they do, okay, it's not a big deal. So you just say hi and you're like, okay, and you move. So I did. But then I started noticing this guy. I think this guy is shadowing me. Mind you, I mean, from one, from two, I say this guy is like way older than me, and I'm seeing him everywhere. So I start kind of getting freaked out. I'm like, what's happening? Okay, so but I move on with life. But then now it actually like started being, it stopped being a secret anymore. This guy was following me every time. So I was actually like genuinely freaked out by having him as a shadow, because it's creepy. Here is the thing. This guy, for one, never spoke to me besides hey. So he'd say hi, and I say hi back, and then I move on with life, and then he follows me. What was I supposed to do exactly? Was I supposed to? I honestly have never been able to explain this. He'd never say anything to me, but he used to follow me all the way up to my gate. And me at some point, honestly, in the kinds of this is freakish. What kind of freak does that? And then at some point, I was like, you know what? I'm done. And I don't know what's the most he can do to me. So on one of the days when he followed me, I just thought, and I was like, Sasa, unaenda wapi? Like, I asked him, like, unaenda wapi? And then he was like, said some gibberish stuff, like, that I didn't pay attention to. Moved. And kind of like that was it. He didn't follow, but then he continued following, like, the next day. And so I was like, hey dude, are you following me? Like, the next day I actually had to come out, because he still did follow me even after the previous day. And I was like, dude, like, are you following me or something? And I was like, you know, it's weird that you're always kind of seem to be following. I'm sorry, that was scary. The door just opened by itself and I'm alone in the house. Those are kind of the behind the scenes of living alone vlogs, you know, that you don't see. You get freaked out and spooked by everything you see. So I was like, dude, what up? Why are you always around, like, and you don't talk to me? You know, the weirdest thing is you don't talk to me. You just like a shadow. You are shadowing me. Why? And every time I walked faster, he would like pace up and off water. So I asked him, and he was like, no, CG. You see when boys are going around in circles, like, if you like me, say you like me. If I like you back, I'll say I like you back too. If I don't, I'll say I don't, and we move on with life. He didn't say it. The freak continued following me around. Probably shouldn't call him freak. It was freakish though. Continued following me around, and me continued getting freaked out. And at this point, honestly, I was so done. And if you remember, like in my other story, I had said like I never really used to bring up boys' stories. Like, I don't know who does. I don't know who, at least at that point in life, talks about boys with their parents. I don't know if you do. I didn't. But I was so freaked out at this point. I was like, you know what? I can't deal with this again. So but this day I was like, I'm so done with this life. I ran home, and he followed me. Was I supposed to like you some more because you are running after me like a crazy person? Oh my god. Right now is when I realized just how freakish this was. This day I was so done. I was like, wow, I know I'm gonna go fetch milk tomorrow and the day after. And I better tell my mother this, because I can't deal with anything. I told you my mom is intimidating. Not to me, but she can be intimidating. She can be. So I was like, you know what? We're not gonna deal with this anymore. So I just told my mom, hey, listen, person A follows me all the time and he's freakish, and I don't know, I just don't want to deal with the situation again. So I was just expressing myself, letting mom know, by the way, mom, these trips are kind of weird because there's this freak who follows me around. So I was just like expressing myself, and I thought this is going to end there. Guess what my mother did? Turns out my mom actually went and confronted him, which I think probably is what any parent would have done, because I was 14. Come to think about it, I'm 14 and you're an adult at that point. So this turned into a real whole different thing. I never looked at it like that. Basically, this person was a full-grown adult following a 14-year-old. What kind of person are you? My mom confronted him. I didn't know she was going to, because it's not like we had this conversation. I just mentioned it because I was like, hey mom, let me tell you, the streets out here are rough. Okay, that's not what I said, but yeah, I did. Then you won't believe what happened. The next day, I was going to go fetch milk. Nikaenda. I didn't see him. Oh God, this was like Christmas. I was so happy because now in my mind I was already set. I was like, oh God, I gotta go, and then at this specific point I'm gonna meet this person who is freakish and is gonna follow me up to my gate. It's weird. It's like 6 p.m. Sometimes it's kind of almost getting dark. I don't want those stories. This day I did not see him. I was really happy, and I was like, I didn't make anything of it. But then the following day after that, same thing. This time he talks to me. He's like, sasa poa, ulienda kunisema kwa mamako. Turns out my mom went and confronted him. So he was like, umeenda kunisema kwa mamako, and it was kind of aggressive. Not aggressive like I'm gonna kick you or I'm gonna kidnap you or anything. It was just like he didn't expect me to do it, and I was like, dude, you've been following me around for weeks. What was I supposed to do? And like, I've already told you to stop following me, but you still follow me, because I don't even know why in the first place you're following me. So he was like, ulienda kunisema kwa mamako, and I was like, dude, we've been over this. What was I supposed to do? And then I was like, and then he like made a whole big deal. At this point, I'm freaked out. I'm scared because he's being kind of a bit aggressive. And I'm like, oh God, I shouldn't have said it, but I knew I kind of needed to say it because I didn't want to have to struggle with this whole thing alone. But then now that I've said it and he's aggressive, I feel like, oh my God, the streets now are just bad for me. I don't know if I can walk in the streets in peace anymore. But I was like, you know what? Yes, I had, because the light just changed and the video looks weird. We're just gonna ignore that and move. Kind of looks weird. It's like a whole different vibe going on. Just gonna continue. It happens when you're using sand to shoot. Yeah, so I was like, yep, I did. And you know what? I'm gonna tell her about this right now. And then he, oh my God, like he made a whole fuss of it. And then he moved. Nilikimbia nyumbani. I ran faster than I ever have ran. For one, I was like, he looks like he was pretty offended, but he also looks like he was pretty deterred by my mom actually confronting him. I don't know what my mom told her. My mom probably threatened him. My mom could. She could. Yeah, so I was like, thank God, at least I hope he doesn't continue following me. But I was also like scared because now he's like pissed. And I'm like, a 14-year-old me, I'm like afraid of this person to start with. So I'm feeling like all types of ways. I'm kind of excited that, thank God I'm done with this, but I'm also freaked out, like I wonder what he's gonna do next. But good thing is he stopped. But then what happened is, it now used to be very awkward because every time I saw him again on the road, it'll be like he sees me, but it's like he doesn't see me because he doesn't want to look at me. And I also saw him, and I know he's pissed at me because I reported him to my mom, which honestly is the only thing a girl my age could have done. It just honestly was a weird, awkward situation. Not because I cared to impress him or not, but it just felt like I never knew what he could do, because that was freakish. You don't just follow people around like that. And dude, guys, you gotta do better. I don't think guys normally just follow people on the road like this, but you know, if you're interested, not that that would have changed anything. The stalking is just weird in itself. Like, I don't understand how every single day you're available to follow a child around. I mean, I'm saying child because you're an adult, so that's a child. To follow her around, like, how idle are you? How idle are you? How this would have worked out another way? How about you create a conversation and maybe you could be friends, and maybe that could be a basis to be like, I like you, or I think you're interesting, and then I would have been like, I like you too, but I don't think you're interesting like that, and then it wouldn't have been weirded out. It wouldn't have been awkward for me and for you. Because I always try to imagine what the conversation must have been. Hey, so nimesikia umekuwa ukifuata msichana wangu around kwa barabara. Like, weird. Anyway, that's the story of my personal stalker person. Which, when I go to Shags, even now, and I see that person, I'm a bit weirded out by the situation. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and we have like less than a week. What's the date today? A weekish to December, and I remind you, December is Vlogmas. We have vlogs every single day. Stay tuned, stay with me, and give me some ideas in the comment section on what you'd like to see from my channel, what you'd like me to do. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this video, and